What up? What up? You know what time it is. It's the daily wake up call. Listen up. One of the things that I want to talk about right now is the book Think and Grow Rich. Okay, if you haven't read this book, this is a highly recommended book by me. I've read it 4 times already, and literally every single time I read it, I find something different to focus on. If I'm reading it around this time of year, which I actually am not, I have one of my favorite parts of the book here marked off. But if I'm reading it around this time of year, the biggest thing that stands out to me is the part around having a definite plan. There's two things that you need in order to reach your goals, in order to stay in the pocket, which is basically a desire and a definite plan. Now, when it comes down to planning, what you need to understand is that a lot of times around this time, there's a lot of other coaches that will start talking to you about your goals, aspirations, whatever you want to call it, right? But it always comes down to how much money do you make, do you want to make, and then how many transactions do you want to complete. What tends to be missed are the actions that you need to take. So the actual plan in order to get that done. Now you can talk until you're blue in the face about what you want and what you hope to have, but without a plan, you're not going to get there. So when you start thinking about planning, which a lot of us do around this year, start thinking about what you desire, meaning how much income do you want to make? How many transactions do you want to close? What do you want your overall schedule to be like, right? What do you want your life to look like? Okay. Think about that, visualize it, do all that stuff because that's part of what they call manifestation and speaking it into existence. But the part behind that that really makes it come to fruition is going to be what you do to make it happen. You have to execute. So when it comes down to having a definite plan, you need to start thinking about what is your daily schedule going to look like? How many contacts do you want to make? Who are you calling? Who are you going to help get a house sold, purchase a home, whatever it is? Of course, we're talking in terms of real estate here because that's what we do. Um, but this can come across in any aspect of your life that you're wanting to improve, do better on, anywhere that you have a goal to do something better. All right. So think about that when you're making your plan. Of course, you want to set your income and your transaction number goal, but you don't want that to be so rigid because what you want to do is really focus on the actions that you're taking because that's what you can actually control. You can control how many calls you make. You can control how many contacts you make. You can control how many days a week that you're going to be prospecting. You can control the follow ups that you make. You can control all of those things. So make sure that when you're making your plan, you go ahead and map out your entire schedule. You can do it for the year, you can do it for the month, you can do it for the quarter, whatever it may be. Map it out, stick to your plan, and document everything that you do. Because at the end of the year or the month or the quarter, however you're doing your goals, you can take a look and you can see this is exactly how many calls I made. This is exactly how many contacts I made. This is how many transactions I've done. This is how many transactions I've closed. You can start getting some numbers behind it because once you have that information and once you have that data, you can then scale it. You can double down on what works. And that's something that I've always talked about as well. So listen, let's get it. Let's keep on killing it to the end of the year. This is going to be a big one. This is the time to stake your claim in your market. So get out there, get after it, stay in the pocket.